Hello, I'm Matt Guff from house.com, and this is a 2019 Rome Blackjack wide snowboard. A great all-mountain freestyle deck for anyone with size 11 feet and larger. Rome does a great job making boards. They make great park boards, all-mountain boards, power boards, everything in between for any kind of condition and any kind of terrain. And the Blackjack is kind of a combination of all those things, and it's perfect for anyone with size 11 feet and larger. The worst thing that happens to people with big feet when they snowboard is they usually catch their toes and their heels on the snow because their boards are too narrow, and that's not going to be the case with this Blackjack wide. You can be a beginner to an advanced level rider, and you can love this thing. It's a true twin board. The nose and the tail are the exact same shape. You can ride it this way or this way, and it's going to feel the exact same. It has a centered styled stance, which is nice, but you can still set the stance back if you want to ride deeper snow. But for the most part, most people ride the Blackjack wide, kind of like centered up, kind of like more of a park style board. With it being a true twin and having a center styled stance, it does have a kind of pretty moderate style profile shape. So you'll see as the board's on this flat table, the board rests flat. It doesn't have a rock and it doesn't have an arc to it. What that does is actually give the board kind of this unique dual kind of personality to it. It's aggressive, similar to, or stable, similar to what you find in camber, but not overly aggressive. It's loose, but not overly loose, like what you find in a rocker style board. It's kind of a combination of both. And that's why I think most people actually like the Blackjack. It's a really easy to ride board. It doesn't have too wild of personality on one end or the other, which is actually pretty great. Now, Rome rates this thing to have a feel and flex rating of a 6. Now, I'd give this thing a flex rating of about a 4, a little bit softer than your average board, but because of the additional laminates to it, it's going to be a little bit more reactive, which is nice. The wood core is called the Pop Matrix wood core. Its majority is actually poplar style wood. There's two softer and more lightweight style woods right down the middle of the board too. And then there's the biax glass that has additional carbon stringers in it. Now, the biax glass runs at 0 degrees and at 90 degrees, and at 90 degrees there's an interwoven carbon, which is nice because it gives the board just a little bit more of a lively feel, again, without it being too aggressive. And then, of course, there's the Bamboo HotRods. And you'll notice maybe on the nose and the tail, there's these little cylindrical rods that kind of stick out. These bamboo rods go from basically the insert packs right down the center line of the board to where the contact points generally are. It's right down the middle of the board. It's been milled out in the closer section by your bindings. And what that does is provide a little bit more energy on the nose and tail of the board without making too torsionally rigid. And that's why, like a lot of people tend to like it. It's like you can still manipulate the board with your feet. You can steer it, and it's not going to be too rigid when you're going in and out of turns. And kind of speaking of turning this board, it's fun to ride because of the FiveGnar Sidecut radius. There's actually 2 different styles of sidecut radiuses that are in 5 different locations on each edge. The larger sidecut radiuses are right where your bindings rest, on your front foot and on your back foot. And then in the middle, the tail, and then on the nose of the board is a smaller, tighter sidecut radius. So no matter if you're doing larger crossover carves or smaller cross-under ones, the board's can react and can ride pretty much any way you want to. Another cool thing about the Blackjack wide is that it has an impact style base. It's a very strong and durable extruded base. It won't be as fast as a wax style sintered base, but it definitely drops the price point down. Again, this has a lot of performance to it. It's not overly stiff or aggressive or too loose and surfy. It's kind of right in the middle. It goes everywhere you want, from the top of the peak down to the parking lot. This is a red board. It has a really cool graphic too, a nice matte style finish. You can check out the Blackjack wide at thehouse.com by selecting the link below in the description of this video. Feel free to leave a comment or question. Let me know if you've ever ridden this thing or what you think. Subscribe to the channel over there. Check out more vids there. And hopefully I'll see you on snow.